PowerPoint, boom. All right, so let me just come over to Twitch on my iPad and make sure I can see this screen share because there's no one here to ask and let me know you can see it or not. But just a rundown, what we're doing here today is I'm putting together personally a real estate lead generation sales training for my real estate agents. I'm a broker. I own a real estate company called the Investment Property Gurus in Fort Lauderdale. And what I do is I train agents to make them better at buying, at getting buyers, selling houses, getting listings, just all around working with people in the real estate business. My job is to make sure they have what they need to do a great job at that and get better. So what we're doing today is we're just making the training step by step, and I'm going to show you exactly how easy it is to do, how you can do it too, whether it's real estate, no matter what your skill set is. If you have knowledge on how to do something, you can put it together in a course, make it one time and sell it to people to download online over and over, charge people to come to your webinars, whatever the case may be. In my situation, the way I'm monetizing this is that if my agents do better with this information, that generates more revenue for me as the broker. So let me just log into Twitch on my iPad just so I can kind of monitor and see what is going on here. 1 second. Boom. Khalid explains it all. That's me. Boom, 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 boom. And the reason I'm doing all of this right here is because my dream, like I said in the last video, my dream is to build an online school. So I'm just going to do class after class until I have this huge library of videos that are just kind of archived. Right now, they're going to be on Twitch because I understand that Twitch is not easy, but it's a little faster to get monetized on Twitch than it is on YouTube. I am still putting these videos on YouTube, but I'm just doing them on Twitch live. You'll see it first here. And then later on, they'll get edited and put onto YouTube just for, future generations. But as I get to a certain point, it's all going to come off of YouTube and it's going to be on my online learning platform, which people will have to pay. If you're not one of my agents, you'd have to pay to get into. And I'm going to do this for things outside of real estate. I'm going to do this for real estate. I own a podcast studio, the AV Club Studios. So anything I can think to teach people how to do, I'm going to make an e-course for it and sell that e-course just for residual income. Because like I was saying, once you make it one time, it's forever going to repeat itself. You're just going to sell it and sell it and sell it. You may tweak it, but it's going to forever be sold. That's what we call intellectual property. They want me to enter a code. Let me find it. Boom. Okay. Boom. We are live on Twitch. Continue. Now, can I see my own stream? Wonderful. Okay, great. Great. All right, so this I had to pull it up on my iPad. This damn overlay. I'm so sick of this overlay. As you see, I can see it on my iPad. All right, so boom, let's do this. So the first thing I do is I come in my phone. You guys could do it on a piece of paper. And this may be tough to see, but I literally just make a note of all the steps. So the purpose of this training is lead generation, how to generate leads as a real estate sales associate. So I just sit there and think, okay, so I've been there. I've personally done this from my own experience. What are ways that I generated leads? So as you can see, I got networking, referrals, farm areas, mailers, niches, paid ads, all of these little steps as to how I generated leads. And I'm just going to come in here and make them a slide. And once I make it a slide, then it's just a matter of putting little talking points on it. I'm not going to do this to read it word for word when I present it. What I'm doing is just putting the information together just as like little reminder points. Like, oh yeah, okay, I remember to talk about that. And also I can restructure it to put it in an order that best makes sense. So let's get right into it. So here we go. Lead generation training. And like, this is something we all learned in grade school. No matter what, I think we revisit this several times. I think they show us PowerPoint and what's the other one? PowerPoint and Keynote. They show us that in middle school, again in high school, maybe in college. Whenever you have to do these little book reports or presentations. They're training you to make actual online classes. So let's do this. All right, so lead generation training, investment, property, gurus. Ooh, gurus. Just like, let's just make it nice. All right, let's put a little color on here. Format background. Let's make it look jazzy. How you do this? Okay, design. Boom. I'm kind of feeling this. I like the black. Yeah, the black in line with the investment property gurus company colors. Lead generation training, the investment property gurus. Give myself some credit. Bye. Colleague Brian. That's me. Let's give myself some more. Broker, the investment property gurus. All right, boom. That's good. Let's throw in the logo. Insert. I sure hope it's a logo here somewhere. Pictures from photo browser. Logo. No, we're gonna have to upload it. That's fine. Pictures from file. And I'm just gonna search logo. It's not there, of course. So I'm gonna go on my phone and find said logo. And I am gonna airdrop it to myself. So here it is on my phone. Airdrop. Boom. RG 2387. Cool. So let's come back to PowerPoint. Insert pictures from file. Recent. 2387. Boom. Boom. Logo. See. It's the little steps you didn't think you need to show people. So what I'm doing here is I'm just resizing it just because it's not see-through and I don't have time to come back and make it see-through. But since I'm using a black background, I'm just gonna go ahead and crop it. Okay, boom, little crop. And then we're just gonna bring it where we want it. Where's center? You see these little lines that pop up? That do a good job of kind of letting you know where center is. We're gonna call that left 4. Boom, boom, that line right there. That means it's centered. I like it. And then I'm gonna just copy this. Boom. So now I have it for every slide I do. All right, new slide. So now what I'm doing here, I made my intro. Boom. I'm probably gonna change the color, but for now, we just want it to just look like this, just to have something just basic. So the first slide, I'm gonna come back to my notes and see what the first thing I wrote is. The first thing I wrote is networking. So this slide is gonna be networking. I'll center it. Now let's just talk about a few points of networking. So I'm gonna be like, what is networking? Right, and I just know when I read that, I know, let me tell you what networking is. I don't believe it's about going to different networking events and handing out your business card and just kind of exchanging emails, because once that's done, you tend to just fizzle out. Like when I go to a networking event and someone gives me their email address, I never know what to do with it. So again, I'm not gonna give you guys a class, but this is just an example of what I'm gonna do as I go through this. So what is networking? Ways to network, right? Different key points, things I can talk about when it comes to networking. Networking tips, do's and don'ts, right? This is just the draft. So I'm gonna center that just because it looks better. It's not that much information. I'll lower it because it's not that much information, and boom, there's a slide. And guess what? Handy dandy logo. Let's do the next one. Next slide. What do we got? Referrals. I'm gonna stop showing you guys the phone. Just remember this phone information because this overlay is kind of killing me. All right, so the next slide. Referrals. All right. Now here's the thing. As I'm making this, my mind is still working because education is literally just a sum of other information you gathered from other sources put together in one package, right? So this is all just a cumulative report of all of my experience. So all my sales experience, my 9 years of being a realtor, everything I did to get leads one way or another is coming together here. That doesn't mean I'm only going to talk about my personal experiences. I'm still going to go out and find other things that other people are doing. I'll remember, oh, so-and-so sold me this, so I'm going to put that in here. Just so you have, my agents have a wide variety of different tactics, not just what I've done, because there's going to be things that I wouldn't have even thought to do that are good ideas, but that doesn't mean I can't teach it. So what I'm going to do here is, because I just got another idea, I'm going to hit new slide and I just bring it to the beginning, because what I want to do is have like a little intro slide. I don't want to just go into here is what the topic is and now let's talk about networking. So I like to talk about lead generation for a few points. So what is lead generation, right? What is it? Center it, make it look good. Now I'm literally thinking of things I can say about what is lead generation. Okay, here, you know what? Let's make this even better. We're just gonna say lead generation. I might change that later, but why it's important, why you should never stop or take a break, right? What else can you say about lead generation? What is, okay, look, so we're gonna, I like why it's important up there, so we're gonna add, boom, boom. What is lead generation? There we go. All right. What is lead generation? Why is it important? Why you should never stop or take a break? Lead gen versus, what are we gonna compare it to? So lead generation versus other daily activities. You know what? I don't feel like I need this one because it kind of reiterates why it's important. I may come back and do another round of this, but right now I'm just laying down the foundation of my training. So again, if it's a few, I don't need it very high, and handy dandy logo, boom. So here we go again, our flow. Lead generation training by Khalid Brian, broker. Lead generation. What is lead generation? Lead generation is the act of, is the work part of whatever you do, whether that be real estate, sell cars, do tattoos. Lead generation is the act of getting people to know you exist and what you do and get them interested in what you have going on. This isn't making them clients. You're just getting people that are interested in what you have going on coming in the door to see what else you can do together. The act of turning them from a lead to a client, that's called conversion. That's a whole nother training, but we'll probably actually just touch it in the end of this one. So let's just keep going. We don't have time for all of this. So networking, referrals. You know what? Let's put out all of our bullets and then I'll come back and do my talking points. All right. So the next, referrals, handy dandy logo. Whoa, why'd it get so big? Okay, boom. Handy dandy logo. There we go. The next one, farm areas. We're going to talk about farm areas. Just for you guys who don't know, a farm area is, so what realtors do is we'll try to become the specialist or the go-to person of a certain neighborhood. Let's just say I live in Pembroke Pines. I can be the go-to guy at Pembroke Pines. Our actual Pembroke Pines agent that really does a good job at this farm area, what is her name? Ah, crap. You know what? Irrelevant. Khalid Bryan. But what she does is every year, every month, every week, every day, you will always go around the city of Pembroke Pines and you will see her signs, her billboards, her bus benches, and she has covered the area. No one else. It's very hard to get your face on a bus bench or a sign in the area of Pembroke Pines unless they built a brand new one and you caught it, because she has done a very good job at just making sure everyone in the city of Pembroke Pines knows she is the go-to agent in this area. You, even if they see the sign one time, they're not going to buy, but just the fact that every time you're in the city you see it, it raises familiarity. So that's the purpose of a farm area. You're going to target a small group of people and keep hitting them with marketing materials or just recurring views at your face, just so when they do decide I need a realtor, they're going to go to the person they're familiar with. Like, you know what? I think Pembroke Pines Real Estate. I'm going to think Khalid Bryan. All right. So we're going to talk about farm areas, add our handy dandy logo. New slide. We're going to talk about mailers. This is literally what it sounds like, the act of mailing to people every month. For this to be consistent, you have to do it for a few months at a time, maybe like 4 months plus to have consistency. You're not going to send someone one flyer and then expect them to just come and buy with you. Let's see. So in mailers, I have some little bullet points I can put right now. So I'm going to put newsletters. This is like giving people updates about their area, what's going on. Market updates. This is literally just mailing people, hey, here's a market in your area. Here's how the most recent house is sold. Here's how frequently houses sell here. Here's how long they take to sell here. Just every month you're telling them, here's what happened this month in your market. Inventory. Well, market updates and inventory updates is the same thing. We're not gonna be redundant in this training. People don't have time for that. People have things to do. Niches. This is the act of choosing a specific category that you specialize in. Let's just say ranch style homes, properties that have stables in the back, condos, beachfront condos. A niche can be anything. It can be very specific. Your niche can be yellow houses, houses with stairs, houses with spiral stairs. Just the purpose of a niche is, instead of just saying, I'm a realtor, I'm a real estate agent, work with me, you're saying, I help people build income property portfolios. So it narrows down your pool of people who you're trying to target in your marketing. So again, like farming, you want to pick a small target area, a small audience, and just keep hitting them every month, every week, as frequently as possible to build up familiarity. If you're just trying to market to any and everybody, you're just going to show it to one person once or twice in their life, and that's it. But if you target it specifically, like a niche or a farm area, it builds familiarity and they feel like they know you. And they feel like they know you, they feel obligated to work with you. So that's the goal here. So niches, handy dandy logo. It's my baby, she's crying. Paid ads. There's companies like Zillow, Realtor.com, whatever your industry is. I'm sure there's magazines or some type of resource that will charge you to promote you on their site. So paid, well, it's not letting me type. Paid ads, boom. Handy dandy logo. New slide. Another good way to get leads is by educating. Oh, let me type. Educating people. This is building your own clients. And the reason I say this is because these are people who otherwise aren't clients because they're not ready. They don't know what to do. They don't know the steps. All they have is just interest. And you're going to show them what to do. They may think they don't qualify, but they may think buying a house is out of range for them, but you're going to do the steps to educate them, make sure they understand what's going on in whatever industry you're doing. And as you educate them, they feel as though they're learning from you. And once they feel like they learn from you, they want to do more with you. They say when you learn something new and exciting, your brain produces dopamine, and dopamine is the sticky note of the mind. So what happens is I teach you something new and exciting. It's forever etched in your head. Like, wow, I didn't know that. So here's a quick gem right now. Whenever you see the little crane in the sky, like when there's a new construction and they got that big orange crane in the air, the building is already at least about 50% sold out. They don't let you break ground until you have a certain amount of property sold. So just knowing that is very interesting because this is an indication of growth in a community. If you are out and you see they're building a Starbucks in a community that otherwise never had one, if they're building new apartments in a community that otherwise only had a few single family homes or duplexes, whatever it is, that's an indication that that market is growing and developers are sinking their money in there because they see the growth and potential to get their money back. They know way more than us. They research way deeper than we do on these things. So it's important to see what they're doing so we can react and move accordingly. So things like that. I just taught you something. Now you may come back to this stream to learn some more. It all goes full circle. Let's add our handy dandy logo. Boop. New slide. Content marketing, my personal favorite. Content marketing. So content marketing is just what it sounds like, making content for the purpose of marketing. This Twitch stream, I'm actually gonna save it, upload it over to YouTube, then cut little portions of it and upload on Instagram, just so people can see, oh, Khalid's training over here. If people don't see what you're doing, they assume you're doing nothing, believe it or not. So just showing in your content, your Instagram, your Facebook, your TikTok, whatever social medias or sites you have, just show what you do in your field, even if you just show the process of how it's done. That is a big way for people to just keep getting reminded, oh, so-and-so does this. Oh, Khalid is a broker. Khalid's an educator. If you want to learn something, go to Khalid. That is my goal. So I'm going to make sure every day I'm teaching and showing that I'm teaching by way of my content marketing. These are all different ways to generate leads, but you want to do multiple of them. You don't want to just pick one source and just do it. You want to have a certain amount of leads coming in from content marketing, a certain amount of leads coming in from your paid advertisement, a certain amount of leads coming in from your mailers. And you have this network of, if one slows down, the others may pick up. You may notice I get more leads from this and not so many of that. I'm overwhelmed. Let me cut this off because it's my lowest flowing source. And let me put more time over here because this really produces a lot of leads. Let's keep it going. Handy dandy logo. Boom. All right. New slide. Cold calling. I used to do that. This is cold. What's going on? Cold calling. Should I do cold calling and door knocking as one slide, or cold calling slide, door knocking slide? Fuck it. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm gonna put door knocking in because I don't want to make door knocking its own slide because I'm not really big on it. I've done it and it didn't go. I didn't get any business out of it, so I don't see why I would be telling people to do this because it didn't work for me. But we're gonna mention it. Door knocking. All right. Landvoice.com. Fizbo.com. Who to call? Who to call? How to call? Why to call? I like that. I like that. Oh yeah, center it. Handy dandy logo. Oh look, I see something here that's not centered. So guess what we're gonna do? Center it. Boom. It's looking like a class already. It's like, see, I just want y'all to see how easy this is, because let's just say you have something that you're good at. Let's just say you know how to make hats. You can do an e-course on how to start a hat making business. Just write down the steps in your head on what you did and put little bullet points. And on the bullet points, put sub bullet points, which are speaking points. And of all that, it's all on you, because who's going to know it better than the person who wrote it? It's not that hard to write a class. And honestly, this is probably similar to writing a book. I'm going to write a book the same way. And guess what? I'm going to come right back here on Twitch and we're going to write that book together. Everything I do, every big task I do, everything towards the next hustle, the next step, the next level, I want to stream it just so you guys can see the process and see that I'm not just here, sitting on my booty, not doing nothing. I'm a regular guy. I have struggles and troubles, and here's how I deal with them, just so you can too figure out, let me get up and hustle, because it's not so much as I don't have gas in my car, I don't have money, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not spending the dime, I'm right here on my computer, which I've had for years, which is a little messed up, and I'm making a whole feature presentation. All right, so we really have to get rid of all of our excuses and things that hold us back, and just kind of see the reality of how easy things can be, especially in 2022 with all this technology. I have like 3 devices right here doing different things. Let's keep it pushing. What did I do? Cold calling? Yeah. Okay. So after cold calling, I wrote have multiple streams of leads, which is not a lead generation source, but just kind of important. Have multiple sources of leads. This is what I said earlier. You don't want to just have one thing going. You want to have multiple things, because you're going to get 3 leads from here, 2 leads from there, 5 from there. And what you really want is to have so many leads coming in, it's overwhelming. And you have to vouch for what's the word I'm looking for? You have to vet and qualify who you can to see who's most ready to work with you now and who's most ready to close a deal within the next few months. And then from there, I'll drill blank. I'm sorry. So what you want to do is have multiple sources of leads because they're gonna just add up. It's like multiple streams of income. You're gonna get 200 a month over here, 5,000 a month over here, 100 over here, 50 over here, but it adds up to how much you make in full. It's my dog. No, this is my Twitch. I'm gonna show you my dog. Come here, chick. Let me show you some of Twitch. Because Twitch is about personality. This is my dog. Chill. All right. Thank you. Oh, Mocha, you want to get shown too? Come on. Mocha got jealous, y'all. Mocha got jealous. All right. Let's do this. All right. Back to work. What have multiple sources of leads? You know what? I'm gonna push this slide to the bottom. So I'm gonna put a new slide, but I'm gonna move it like that. So you see, that's the benefit of doing it this way. You can always rearrange this. Like if I present this, let's just say I present it, today's Monday. If I present this on Thursday, I can see how it went, realize I didn't like how it was presented, and come back and restructure it and just do it again. I'll reschedule that training. Let's boom, boom, boom. Okay, so we did have multiple streams of leads. So pictographs. And a pictograph is like if you've ever been on Instagram and you've seen those posts where it's like a company will have words, some information where you learn something, some pictures. That's a pictograph. I actually have a class where I'll show you guys how to make them on my YouTube. So check out Khalid Explains It All on YouTube. And I do it with my good friend Sancher, who is my content marketing expert when it comes to my real estate brokerage, the investment property gurus. So the next slide is pictographs. I didn't write pictographs. Pictographs. All right. So then we're going to go into how to make them. Where to get info. No, we're gonna do ways to get info. I like that. All right, and then let's center it because everything else has been centered. Handy dandy logo. How to make them. Ways to, let's Canva. Ways to get info. All right. We'll revisit this. Let's keep it pushing. New slide. Become a resource for info. This is knowing your business. This is if you say you have a niche, if you say I'm the specialist of this area, you have to be the go-to person because people are going to expect you to know these commonly asked questions. For example, I say I specialize in income producing real estate. People randomly call me or randomly stop me and ask me random real estate advice about rentals. They'll ask me about their tenants. They'll randomly ask me about evictions. And if not to say you have to know everything, but you have to know how to answer a person confidently. And another thing you'd want to do in all this time is get better at explaining things, because that's really going to help you here when it comes to building this online school or this online e-course or this webinar, or whatever it is you're trying to put together where it comes to educating people. Again, no matter what your field is, educating people will always be the best way to get them to work with you because they trust and they're confident that you know what you're talking about. And that's what they want when they're working with somebody. If I'm working with someone on a podcast, they want to work with someone who knows podcasting. If I'm working with someone on a deal, they want to know someone who knows real estate. So become a resource. That's what this is. That's what I'm trying to do here with these videos. These videos are going to be a resource for all agents and investors who want to know things about real estate. Let's keep it pushing after the handy dandy logo. Boom. All right, new slide. Ooh, I like this one. Save. I'm gonna save every email address and phone number, right? Now, why do I tell people to save every email address and phone number? Is because you never know where your career is going to go. You never know what type of marketing plan or strategy or next thing you're going to unveil. And another thing that's kind of frustrating is in real estate, your phone kind of blows up off the hook and you never know who or where it's coming from. Because we're on Google, like you can literally Google my name, Khalid Bryan, and you'll see Khalid Bryan Realtor, Khalid, like I'll pop up. So people will call and randomly say, hey, do you remember me? Or, hey, it's me again. Hey, Khalid, I bought that house from you. So the last thing you want to do is have sold someone the house, which is a very important transaction in their life. And they text you out the blue and you're like, who this? You know, like it's just, you don't want that. It's very disrespectful. And it shows that you didn't really care much. You don't want to make people to feel like they're just a number. My philosophy is in real estate and probably any business is, if I'm your realtor, I'm your realtor for life. I'm the family realtor. I'm integrated in your life now. So save every email address and phone number. And the main reason is, if you ever decide to do an email campaign, a text campaign, if you want to follow up, this is how you'll reach out to these people. This is how you'll put them in your database of people. This is how you'll reach out for referrals. Make sure you save every email address and phone number. If you text someone, if someone texts you, get their name and just lock it in your phone. It doesn't take that much space. Like, believe me, my contacts list is ridiculous, but it's worth it. There's actual dollars in my phone because I've saved every contact from the 9-10 years of real estate I've been doing. I could text my very first client ever and say, hey, how you been? Because people buy a house every 9 to 10 years. They may buy a house from me right now if I text them. So if you imagine, if they buy a house, let's just say the average price is 400,000, I get 3%, 3, 6, 9, 12. That's $12,000 I made from just saving a number and shooting them a text. So it's out there. Save every email address or phone number. We're going to put some bullet points because we just talked about them. So for follow-up, for email and text campaigns, to ask for referrals. Right? So you guys see how I'm breezing through this class. And again, these are all things that I was just chilling on the phone and just went through my OneNotes app and I would just type like, okay, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. So I typed it on my OneNotes app and then come here, every little bullet point, as you see, I made it a slide. And let's just say I spend a minute, 60 seconds, 2 minutes talking about each slide. Because remember, I'm not going to say cold calling, door knocking, land voice. I'm going to actually elaborate. I'm going to say cold calling. Here's what cold calling is. Here's how you want to do it. Here's how you cold call. Here's how I cold call. Now, places you can also door knock instead of cold call. Like, I'm going to elaborate on every bullet point within each side. So you can imagine this took me, I don't know how long I've been here. Let's call it 15 minutes to do this far. It's going to take about an hour to go through this. And when you're looking at next time you go to an e-course or webinar, I want you to pay attention and you'll see it's just some simple slides they typed up and they're just elaborating on the slides. It is not that hard, but guess what? You probably paid $100 for that class, $200 for that class, $15,000 for that class, depending on how powerful your information is and what it can do for people and how life-changing it can be. Sky's the limit. So I'm doing it for free here. You're watching it firsthand. You're watching me make it. I have nothing to hide. I want you to see the actual hustle of it. This looks simple, but this is hustling. This is working. I am grinding right now, and you're watching me do it. Like, you can do this too. Just bust out your computer and start making a PowerPoint on something you're good at. All right, so where are we? We have multiple streams of leads. We want to keep going above that. So get people to talk about you. Get, what's going on here? Get people to talk about you, right? And I already have some things coming to mind, so stand out. Be memorable. Show that you care. So what I'm saying is, you're a realtor. So many times have people, I'm sure at some point in some of your lives, maybe you've been with a parent or a family member or somebody who's looking for a house, and you just remember, oh yeah, some realtor showed it to us. That's it. Some realtor let us in. Some realtor showed it to us. They weren't very standoutish. You didn't learn anything from them. They didn't really say much. They didn't do much. They weren't dressed very elegant. Like, it was a person. It was a random guy. It was just a character in your life. That's not what you want to be if you're trying to be the go-to person in someone's life for a certain field. So you want to get people talking about you. You want it to be, Khalid is so great. Khalid is so smart. Yo, I learned this, and that. Did you know that the crane, when they put it up, it's only halfway built or it's already halfway sold out? I learned that from Khalid. So that's what I'm saying. When you teach people something, you're forever engraved in that sticky note in their mind. When you're on a showing, if you're dressed amazingly and they're like, wow, this guy was dressed so nice, like, yo, my realtor really knows how to dress. Or when you're on a showing, you're calling out little things in the property, like, oh, look at this stain in the ceiling. My realtor is on it. He really cares. He's not very big on just selling the house to sell the house. That's what you're looking for. Handy dandy logo. Boom. So that's just again, this is any field. If you're a tattoo artist, stand out. I've gotten several tattoos, and there's some I remember the artist. There's others I couldn't tell you what they even look like. They could walk next to me in Publix and I wouldn't have no idea that they permanently engraved my body. All right. And then here's the last one I wrote. I'm probably going to come up with more just because I don't feel like this is enough information. But this one is get and share your feedback. Right? I'm gonna figure out how to put this in slide form, but the reason I'm saying this is people need to know that you're good at what you do. If people are skeptical about working with you, seeing that other people have worked with you successfully makes them more comfortable working with you. They get like the fear of missing out. So if you have, let's just say you close a deal and the client texts you saying, ooh, and the client texts you saying, yo, you did a great job. Screenshot it. Screenshot praise texts / emails, but make sure you're not screenshotting any like personal information. So you want to block out their phone number, block out their name, block out their email address. But what I'm saying is, if someone texts you, oh my God, you're amazing, you're heaven sent, you did an amazing job, I'm screenshotting that, crossing out their number, and I'm posting it. Look at this, guaranteed, and I'm typing guaranteed results. Contact me for a consultation. This could be you. Find out the Khalid secret. Showing how hard, showing certain hardships you overcame. Even ask your clients after a deal, something went well, hey, do you mind doing like a quick shout out video? And just they'll be like, oh yeah, it's me, so and so. I just want to say shout out to Khalid. He really did everything he could. He bought me a house. Well, he helped me buy a house in record time. Blah blah blah. Another thing you can do is pick a website. There's gonna be various of them, but what I'm getting to is a review site. You can do Google reviews, whatever reviews, but after every deal, especially if you're just starting, every single transaction, even if you work with someone you worked very hard but the deal didn't pan out, ask them for a referral, a review. Say, hey, would you mind leaving me a review? And then screenshot the review and send it over here. So it's just, and the reviews are always going to be there and they add up. You may have only been doing this for 3 months and only have 2 reviews, but in 7 months, you'll have 80 reviews. And when it gets down to it, and someone's just looking online for a realtor, they're more likely than not going to go with the realtor with the 85-star reviews before they go to the person who's been doing it for 20 years, maybe sold 80 million in houses, but only have 3. Right? So the little things like that, just understanding what people are looking for, it makes you look better. And it's all about your perceived value. That's another slide. I just thought of that. It's not in my phone, not on the slide, but guess what? Increase your, how do you spell perceived? I before E except after C, right? And then what I'll do is I'll type some randomness just to see if it corrects me. And it surely doesn't. So, oh, it does. Okay, good. Okay, good. I spelled it right. Come on, son. I went to college for a little bit. Increase your perceived value. And the reason I say this is, if you look cheap, people will think you cheap and they'll treat you like you're cheap. If you look luxurious, expensive, lavish, if you look like I'm valuable, I'm bringing value to this table, you will be worse off without me. They kind of understand why you cost what you do. They kind of understand why they can't play with your time. They kind of understand why they shouldn't show up to this meeting late, because your time is valuable, because your perceived value is so high. Here's an example. If someone, I hate to be so superficial in my examples, but let's just say someone had a Ferrari. They pull up in a Ferrari, and then I don't know what you're talking about, but the gist is, it's like, okay, yeah, I'll give you some advice. Meet me at this oceanfront hotel at 7 a.m. because that's before I go out on my day. And once I get on my day, I'm grinding. You can't reach me. That's it. I sound important, right? My perceived value is high. You're going to wake up a little early. You might wake up at 5 just to get ready, do some push-ups, go jog, eat breakfast, just to make sure you're there on time, looking your best and sharp, because you don't want to have a low perceived value with me, because if you get the gist, perceived value, I like it, I'm adding it. And this is just okay, so I'm done, that's it. And the last slide again is have multiple sources of lead, but look at this, right? What do we got? 18 slides. You know what I'm saying? So what I'll do probably last is I'll have a recap slide. In summary, right? This lets people know it's done. Take pictures, get ready to ask me questions. And then in summary, when I go back for my final review, I'm gonna come back and just summarize all of this, so the important key points of each one. So we just sat together and we just made a full PowerPoint Zoom training together. We're gonna come back and revisit this, and we're gonna touch up on this again and make it more in-depth, probably if not later today then tomorrow, because I like to have this ready and presented by this Thursday, which is July 2nd. All right, so again, just look at this. This started here in my head. I transferred it here in my phone into a Word document. I just put down little bullet points. I came here on PowerPoint and I just made it simple slides. But look at this. This does not look simple. It's very nice. I'm gonna probably change these colors. I might change the font. I want to make it look very luxurious, and have a high perceived value. So later on in life, when it gets to the point where if you're not part of the investment property gurus and you have to pay for this information, you'll understand why it's worth what I'm asking for it, right? I'm also going to do real estate exam test help, right? Where I'll help people study for the state exam. I'm going to do it the same way. I'm going to go chapter for chapter, make some slides, do a video of me explaining the slides, and it's a whole webinar now. It's an e-course. It's a system that you can just buy into, because once it's done, it's done. Intellectual property is probably the best thing you can put together and sell. That's what I'm showing you. This is all intellectual. Hold on. What I've been calling these? Handy dandy logo. Handy dandy logo. Handy dandy logo. Okay, boom, right? I'm gonna save it. So we're gonna hit up file, save as, and we're gonna call this, what I said? Lead generation Zoom training, right? And then watch this. I'm going to perform this on Zoom live for my agents. At the same time, I'm going to live stream that Zoom on Twitch. Zoom and Twitch are going to record that training, and I'm going to put that recording edited on YouTube. So now I'm getting the views from my agents. I'm getting the views on Twitch, which are monetized, and then I'm getting the views on YouTube, which are soon to be monetized, because YouTube requires much more interaction than Twitch does. And then from those videos, I'm gonna take smaller 30-second to 1 minute clips, and I'm gonna upload them to Instagram. I'm gonna upload them to Facebook. I'm gonna upload them to TikTok. So now you watch me do this one time. I perform it for my agents one time, but it's now being cycled and flowed through all these different sources. So now I have multiple streams of views. So I can get 3,000 on TikTok, 5,000 on Instagram, 300 on YouTube, 700 on what's this thing here, on Twitch, and it just all comes together. And the point of all of this is so people know, come to the investment property gurus. I need to check out the investment property gurus because they really know how to teach. This guy Khalid really knows how to teach me something, and is teaching me how to teach. Like, it's crazy. So I need to be a part of this. This is how I'm growing the team. This is how I'm growing the business. We're gonna close out here. Let me just save this and make sure it saves to my actual desktop, because I'll be pissed off if it doesn't. I'm actually just gonna probably leave it open. But in summary, I'm Khalid Bryan. You can follow me on Instagram at Khalid Explains It All. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Khalid Explains It All. This is my Twitch. Subscribe to my Twitch, Khalid Explains It All. And if you are a realtor or want to be a realtor, check out the investmentpropertygurus.com. We are the deal closers. I really go above and beyond to train my agents. And if you join the team and close a deal, you get an Oculus. Can you see this Oculus? It has a logo on it. Boom. You get an Oculus, right? Because we have an office in the metaverse, in the multiverse. I'm probably going to do that close every time. The goal of this year is to become the branding king. I want to be the king of marketer, the go-to guy of branding and marketing. My goal, I'm going to have sprinters. We're going to have branded sprinters riding around the city. we're gonna be a big thing. We're gonna be a force to be reckoned with. I just want you to see firsthand how I'm doing it, and just so you can do it too in whatever your field is. So follow me, subscribe, like, shoot me a message if you have a question on anything. I will see you guys tomorrow, and watch what I do with this video I just did here today. You'll see it in a few places. So let me figure out how to get back on Zoom and end this meeting. Stop share. We're back. I appreciate you. This has been my first official live stream, second unofficial live stream. We will do this daily.